great pleasure to introduce Katerina Arkidiakonou, who is the Gender Studies Coordinator at Federico II University of Naples and the co-founder of the Fondazione Mediterraneo. I'll hand over to Katerina.
I'm very pleased to be here, and I must say I'm also in some way embarrassed because in the General Assembly of Sunday and in the debate of yesterday organized by Urbanima, I listened a lot of very, very good things, and I think that UN Habitat is doing very well for women. So the problem is with this roundtable not to put general statements, but to focalize on priorities and shared perspectives and strategies, because the most of the things are said and there is not something to say, I listened to something that was very bad, I don't agree. No, I agree nearly everything what I listened to, but the problem is how to, what are priorities. And so, from my point of view, I am a psychologist, I am a psychoanalyst, and I must say, expert in empowerment, because I wrote a book on empowerment, and I am the president of the European Association of Community Psychology. So, empowerment is my bread. And going into empowerment, the first thing I would like to say is that we have to talk about different dimension of empowerment. We have individual, we have organizational, and we have social empowerment. Why we have to make these three statements? Because if we think that something is very good at the individual level, but we don't work at social level to have the recognition of the individual aspect, we will think something very good, but we will not have the power to affirm it. Then, second, in some countries, for instance in our country, sometimes women empowerment means that women work together to empower and to do very good projects. Now we have very, very, very good projects, but these projects are very good for the women that are working in the project, but are not doing that are not working in changing the world. They are not doing advocacy. They are not working at a social level. So when we do a project, we have to think in mind who get the benefits of the project. And sometimes there are some things that we don't think that are straight connected with project and with empowerment, but they are because they are networking tools, they are supporting tools, they are by-side tools helping in reaching the objective. So I summarize very quickly aspects at individual level: health, individual rights, education, economic power, access to land and housing, social living spaces. This is something that I listed yesterday, and I think it's a very good point. At organizational level, we need security, safety, transportation, relational opportunity, social services. And at social level, at general level, we need fairness, participation, access to decision. In this sense, I think that there is the danger of, in this moment of crisis, that we think in a traditional way, and we give women some benefits, but at the end, where is the moment to manage power, to manage money, to ruling the world, we take women by side. If we think, I am probably not very polite, but if we think to the Article 27 of the new proposal, the proposal for the new constitution in Tunisia, they are going to propose complementarity between men and women, but complementarity is not as is in the frame of asymmetry. So it means that you recognize women, but women in the frame of the family, in the frame of the community. So you don't are fostering individual rights, and you are not fostering women as social subject, but women as member of a family, chair, but a very important, impressive, nice man. And this is a risk. And so when we talk about women, we should also see which are the perspectives we are thinking, which are the towns, which are cities we are thinking to. So, going further, with my discipline, community psychology, we work very hard in developing tools for developing empowerment. And I was very, very happy in founding in these documents that I collect for the conference, many of these: community profiling, SWOT analysis, future lab, narrative and visual methodologies, scenario, photo voice, photo dialogue, citizen exhibition, action research methodology. These are all tools for social work. And they are good tools to use to empower, but they are good tools, very good to empower at local level, group of people working in an area, in a community, in a context. But then there is, and these tools are within the UNHABITAT training tools that I have seen that you have in the pen drive. Mostly of these tools are inserted in these training tools. So training tools, working at the local level is very, very good. But if we want to achieve a social change, a strong change, we have to arrive to a new vision. And we have to start to think, what is the feminist thought? What is a gender value perspective? What is the gender value perspective giving to the town? What are main points? And I think the two main points is a respectful relation with the environment. We, in our big cities, in our metropolis, we are going to have no good air, no good sanitation, no good transportation. So have trees, have green, have the opportunity to live in a pleasant place. And this comes for the tradition to have a good contact with our environment. And at the same time, in our cities, we have not to support women-men asymmetry. I think that this is the focal point of our nowadays society. Women-men asymmetry and differences in sharing decisions and governance. So, to have a good life in cities, we have to promote equity, individual rights, women access to decision, women access to economy. And you are saying this is very easy. This is no. Okay. But then what means this when we talk with city administration, with city changes? We have to start using gender budgeting if we have resources, and this should be a priority. When we have money, and we have money for a town, for a city, for a development, we have to see how resources are going to be allocated, how they are going to be used, and which are the benefits of the use of resources. We have to put value on relational goods, but not give to women only the task of relation and care without recognition of its value. Relation is a very important tool for our private life, for our love, for our sex, for our children, for our family, for our friends. That cannot be on the shoulder of the women. So we have to create gender-friendly services, and we have to share the opportunity to take care of relational goods. New economy, the growth perspective, new economies, the Stiglitz Committee are talking that the well-being of a society is in relational goods. Okay, who is giving, who is giving, who is taking, who is taking, who is using relational goods. These are women with unpaid work. So the well-being of our society is in the unpaid work of women at home. We have to find out how to make cities friendly to women, family friendly and supportive for women activities. On this ground, we have to build to increase, to develop gender observatory so that we exactly know what we are going to do, to have, and to use our reflexivity. In this meaning, urban planning in a gender approach is a multitask competence, not only an architectural technical skill. Architecture and planning experts have to collaborate with psychology, sociology, economic and health experts. And all this is because we need to give women, we as women need to take economic power, legal status, and I think that if we go to land, access to land, we have the heritage law, and this is a very big problem because in many countries heritage law, formally or informally, are not giving women the same rights as men. We have to improve empowerment, and we have to have recognition of relational goods as social capitals. So, again, we have now a new problem. We have to fight against the new sexism. New sexism that is going to, in some way, in crisis moment, solving the crisis with the old strategies. And I must say I'm very thankful to Madame Amina Traoré, the General Assembly. She said when the men had problems and they failed with the project and with the vision of a society, then they call women for new suggestions. Okay, they call us, we will give it, and we will give it at local level with participatory tools and action research and all the work that United Nations, UNHCR is doing, and many associations in the world are doing. But we are doing this also with new vision. These are photos for women as traditional tools from previous exhibition. So, if we go straight to urban planning, that is the subject of this empowerment, economic empowerment and urban planning in a gender perspective, we have to have as priority to collect sex disaggregated data of problems, health, education, job, allocation and use of resources. We have to do community profiling, taking into account women and men needs separately. Apply the gender evaluation criteria for the city development and land intervention. Give accountability and recognition to women's voice. That means that we have to work at local level with projects promoting participatory, the microcredit, access to land. But if we do this, we do it in a local area, and it's okay, it's very good. But I think that at this moment, the challenge is that we have a different vision of the world, a world where there is a place for men and women in child rearing and for men and women in the affirmation of our wisdom, knowledge, competencies. And we have knowledge and competencies in some area, men have in some other, but we have to share our competencies not in a fight, but in negotiation, in negotiative form, to have a shared world. And so we have to foster feminist view in changing world. And we have to prepare and disseminate guidelines of women voice collected in the Gender Assembly. The Gender Assembly was very richful. These are voice indications, suggestions that have to be disseminated with UN Habitat power. So, finally, empowerment is a very, very good measure. It's very important to have access to land and to housing, but we have to fight and to overcome the fight that in our mind, in all the mind, in men and women mind, women don't have the same right to the land, the same right to economic power, the same right to individual powers. And we have to change this, probably not in one generation, but that should be the goal. And this should be the goal for our change. If we don't change vision, our measure will be very weak. This is my opinion, and I think that as community psychologists, I am talking now about empowerment, but no more on empowerment at individual level, but empowerment at social level with health, equity, and fairness. Equity, health, and equity, fairness, and power are the three key words to have empowerment and, as a result, access to land and to housing. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Katerina. That was a really perfect introduction, I think, to the round table. Gave us a real sort of conceptual basis, conceptual foundation for thinking about what empowerment actually means and how we might go about actually building empowerment for women in cities. So thank you very much.